Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Old School with you here, and we are once again under construction. I just don't exactly know what it is we're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I've been getting my fill lately of either The Mandalorian or Boba Fett. I am catching up on certain things, including the Book of Boba Fett. I'm about halfway through that. A little slow, but not terrible. And then I just managed somehow to drag myself through the 2+ hours of The Mandalorian and Grogu. I will not spoil anything here. I will just say it's a one-time watch. I'll never watch it again. And if there were a way for me to cleanse it from my memory that I ever watched it, I would do that as well. But it is what it is. Company as big as Disney, with all the billions maybe they had, I don't know, maybe they don't have it anymore. They've been losing a lot of money at the box office. They didn't spend much on this one, I'll tell you that right now. Holy cow, I felt like it was a time warp back to the 80s, even the 70s. Stop motion photography, are you kidding? For Star Wars? I give up. It was literally like watching the Chewbacca chess game with C-3PO or R2-D2 and watching the little players on the chess table move around. It was just like that. Very clunky, very Terminator. The first Terminator, once all the skin is off and it's just the endoskeleton. It was just blatantly stop motion bad. And then don't get me started on the puppets. I mean, we're talking about Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood level puppetry. It is what it is. It's a dying franchise if it's not dead. And the same can be said for the company, realistically. Disney's not in good shape. I mean, they've got money because they've made money, but they're not making money. You know, they're losing at the parks because people have stopped turning out as much because they're incredibly expensive. You know, a family of 4 to go to Disney for a weekend. You better have a second mortgage. It's incredibly expensive. So between that and then putting out less than stellar movies, I don't know. I just don't know anymore. All right, well, let's jump into... I had a couple of different ideas. At the end of the day, this is going to end up being 2 or 3 toy boxes kind of melding into one. If you were just finding this channel or haven't been here in a while, we do now have a way of sharing these toy boxes. So once this thing is completely done, it'll be available. And you'll be able to download it like the old days. And the way you do that is you go down to the description box below, and you're going to see a link for Discord. Jump on over there. That's the invitation for you to join the community. They have managed to crack the code. And now it doesn't matter what platform you're using, you'll be able to get all these cool toy boxes, not toolboxes. You get all these cool toy boxes that you can add to your own collection and have them to play as much and any time that you want. And we're talking about from a laundry list of some of the best creators of all time. I mean, there's just the who's who of toy box creators, and they're all included. It's a total of 3 different, at the moment, it's probably going to grow. But right now we have 3 different bundles that you can get, and each one of them has probably over 100. It's a lot, I tell you that right now, and I'm having a great time with it. I'm just going through these boxes that I've never played before. And again, some of these people are extraordinarily talented. So let's jump into Toy Box. We're going to go into new. The one thing I kind of liked in the Mandalorian movie was this big battle scene that they have, which is in a small arena, which, lately it seemed like I've been doing a bit of that and just showcased one. As a matter of fact, there's a whole playlist. Every day I'm trying to do one of these toy boxes, record it, chop it up into highlights just to give you the taste and let you know that you can go download it over on the Discord page. And I did one recently, and a lot of people seem to have liked it. I loved it, thought it was a really cool game. Trying to remember what the title was. It was a little funky. Give me a second. I got a different word or name in my mind right now. let's see, Gladiator, but not Gladiator like the movie Gladiator. It's Glat with a T, Eator. You know, so Glatiator, Gladiator. Now, I don't know if that was a misspelling by the guy who made the game or what, but that's how he spelled it, so that's what we're going with. Okay, we're going to go empty. So anyway, Gladiator's box actually kind of similar to what we saw in the movie. Not quite the same, but a lot of similarities, though, and I liked it. So I think what we're going to do is kind of make two separate ones. I may come up with a third later on, but the two that I have in mind right now are based on the movie. Got Iron Man to help us out. When I do builds, I do like to have flying characters. It just makes it so much easier to move around and get things done. So I think what I'm going to start on is the actual arena, which this is going to be the actual arena. So we're going to need a couple of things here. And I'm rusty because I stepped away from the game for a good year and a half, if not longer. So I'm... Oh, there it is. I thought it was going to be somewhere else. We'll need that. And let's see. We're going to go to our creative toys. Can't say it. Let's see. Get this one there. And creative toys. And let's just drop a couple of things down that I know I'm going to end up needing. Always need buttons. I'll put a couple of those down. I'm going to put one down. I don't know if I'm going to need it or not, but just to have it there for quick access. I'm not going to do anything. I want to try and keep the logic as simple as possible because, man, I just got done doing the Tatooine race, which that will be available probably next week sometime, or maybe I'll be able to get it to them next week sometime. How long it takes them to then convert it so that everybody can play it, I can't speak on that. But hopefully within, the next couple of weeks anyway. And videos. Some of the toy boxes that I've already reviewed is the Lion King. It's a 2D scroller. If you haven't seen the videos, you can go. There's a nice playlist, and they're all under 2 minutes pretty much, so you can just bang right through them if you want. We've got Raiders of the Lost Toy Box, another one that was really, really well done. Trials on Octu. Gladiator I told you guys about. What else have we got? We got one coming out tomorrow, and we got one coming out Monday. I'm not going to spoil those, though, so you'll have to tune in. They generally drop around 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This way, if you're getting ready to go to breakfast or go to work in the morning and you're having some breakfast and you got 2 minutes to kill, there it is, ready for you. In the meantime, the one that I did recently that it took so much longer than it should have was the Star Wars Race Against the Time, or Race Against Time. And there's a trailer up there to show you the basics of that, and then there was part of our under construction where we started building it. The logic isn't all that exciting, and yet it was a pain in the butt to get it to perform properly. So that's why I like to try and keep it as simple as possible, because I know no matter how simple I make it, it's going to be a problem. So, and it's always been that way with this game. I don't know why it got to be difficult. We'll definitely need that, and I'm debating on whether I want to add an ally, because in the movie he has an ally. But I think I'm going to just keep it simple and just go with one person. All right, let's see what we're going to use here. Maybe. I like to spice it up a little bit.
That's what she said.
Every once in a while I catch myself. Action Enforcer. We can always get rid of it if we don't use it. Boss fight. Oh, do we want a boss fight? I hadn't thought about that. That might not be a bad idea. Okay, we got our boss fight. Enemies. Yeah, I like that actually. We'll make it 4 rounds of enemies and then a boss fight. How's that? And again, this should all work pretty simple. Should. We'll need a counter, I believe, yeah. When each one is... Let me see how that's going to work. No, I'll tell you what, we won't go with the counter. I'm going to try something different. Where's my buttons? We'll line them up that way. Might not need that last one. Let's see. So our logic connection will be on this one. When the wave is defeated, it's going to press this button. And then when this button is pressed, it's going to launch the next wave. And then when this wave is defeated, it'll press the next button. And that, when pressed, will launch the next wave. And then finally, when this wave is defeated, it's going to press the button. And then when it's pressed, it's going to launch the final wave. And then when this is defeated, it's going to press this. And this, when pressed, is going to launch our boss. And for the boss, let's go to properties. And, ooh, I think that's a good one for an arena. I was thinking syndrome, which also isn't bad. But yeah, I think that's going to fit the theme really well. Okay. So we've already got a good chunk of the logic going on here. So I think the way this is going to work, I'm going to hang on to that for the moment. I used to put the box, the trigger area here, I used to put this around where you come in, and then automatically it's like as soon as somebody enters, then, you know, it starts triggering the logic. The problem is sometimes it gets fussy and doesn't register the player being inside the box at the start of a game, especially if you do what I'm going to end up doing with this, and that is linking it to other toy boxes. Generally speaking, if it's the first toy box in the string, then it'll still work. But if you're going from a toy box and then you've defeated the boss and now it triggers the next toy box, and that toy box has the trigger area for your starting point, it's not going to register the start. It'll register you leaving it, but I found that, you know what? Why mess with it at all? Just put a button. Everyone knows what to do when they see a button, and that never fails. That will reset your replayers and anything else that's going on. And that's been the biggest challenge, really, is the replayers, which in this particular level, we're not going to have one. So yay for that. All right. I don't want to change the Sky Dome yet, simply because it's going to change all the music out, and that's always a pain in the neck with YouTube. Let's go down here and decide what ground we want to go with. That's actually pretty good. We'll take a look at a couple other ones just for fun. That's definitely not going to work. I don't think so. I feel like I should be digging into my book of discs that I've collected that I never hardly use anymore because I don't want to pull the book out. It's a pain in the butt. The discs kind of slide out of little pocket holders and stuff. I just think for this one, oh, there you go. That's the winner. That's what we're going to go with. That'll be perfectly fine. Okay, so let's see. Next thing I guess we should do before we go too far ahead is actually set up these enemies. And we're going to do so by going down here to our configure wave. And we are going to go, it's going to ramp up as you go. So early on, we'll give it some easy ones like these dudes. And I don't know, do I want to do battle droids? I think we'll go with those two. And then come over here and ramp it up to 10. Come over here, ramp it up to 10. Again, these are easy ones too, so I like it to be a bit of a challenge, man. Shouldn't be a total cakewalk. Okay, so there we have that. Now, another thing we're going to end up doing, this is why I lay this stuff down, because then you just grab it and you can make as much or as little as you want. And what we're going to do is we are going to, oh, sorry, my bad. New locator connection. That's a spawn location. So now this is going to have 4 different locations it can spawn those 20 different enemies at. And then let me just double check something here because it has been a minute. Properties, generate at random locator. Hopefully it's locators. And then we want to take off the delay time. And it's not on a team. Okay. Again, this should be about as simple as it gets, but yeah. All right, I'm going to put that right about there. Now, if you look at these, you'll see that there's that little blue tip, and it's only on one point. And that's going to be the direction the object spawning in is facing. So I want to make sure that it's at least facing the battle, which it is. And then we'll put one over in the corner here a little bit. And this one's actually going to be facing forward. That was kind of sideways forward, but that works. And we'll do the same thing with this one. They get acclimated pretty quick. So as I said, there's a scene in the movie The Mandalorian that there's this big battle arena type thing going on, kind of like a UFC kind of. And there's a second element to it, like when you get past this challenge, then you have to escape. And that'll be the second toy box. And there is a well-known character from the Star Wars universe that has not, to my knowledge, been featured in a live action until now. And I'm not going to mention the name as a spoiler warning, just in case you hadn't already heard or whatever. There is a character that's, again, well known in the universe, but had not been in live action, to the best of my knowledge. All right, so let's take 1, 2, 3, and 4. Might as well just lay these all out now. And that character does happen to be in the Disney Infinity playline, so I'll be using that in the next under construction. here. And again, go back here. Configure the wave. Now we'll start to make it a little bit tougher. I'm going to save these guys. These Mandalorians are badass. And that's kind of what I was thinking about, maybe teaming them up. But no, it's much tougher to fight them. So this time around, we'll go with 1, 2, and 3. Go with 5. Oop, that's supposed to be 5 again. And we'll go with 10. And then we're going to go down here to properties. Random. Take down the cool off time. And then place the locators. So this time around we'll try going this way. Maybe we'll only do 3. Well, no, I've already lined it up. I'm going to go with the 4. I think that's how the logic gets messed up, is when you start changing it in the middle. I really don't think I'm going to need this for anything, but again, just in case. Lion T in the house. What you cooking, buddy? What you cooking? Lion is the man. He's in charge of all things Discord right now. So again, Disney Infinity, once again, is shareable. You can get toy boxes. You can make toy boxes and share them with other people. Just go to the link down below. So I sat myself through that Mandalorian mess of a movie. I guess we're going to call it a movie. And I'd been watching, who's you going to call it? The Book of Boba Fett, which also isn't great, but better. There's some stuff about that I can definitely get behind. So I've kind of been in a Boba Fett type of mood, I guess you could say. Have you seen the movie yet, Lion? I don't want to spoil anything. My overall opinion is not very high. I'm sure we could talk about it on Thursday, though. Let me finish this up here before I get sidetracked. You liked it, really? I gotta be surprised about that. What did you like about it? I mean, I'll tell you, and boy, it's a laundry list of stuff that I didn't like. It looked cheap as hell. I mean, half the movie, it wasn't even CGI. I could have dealt with CGI. It was like stop motion photography from the 70s. It reminded me of the Terminator in the first movie when he was down to the endoskeleton. Chunky, clunky, obvious stop motion. And then when we talk about the puppets, you got those little mechanics, and then you got the Baby Yoda. It was like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I don't know if you know that reference over there, but Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood kind of puppetry. It was so bad. The hands have no articulation whatsoever. It's like, that's where CGI comes in, man. You guys can't make these guys look like they're alive. When Baby Yoda would like jump up onto the Mandalorian's lap, it was like somebody threw a doll. There's you don't see anything that doesn't look cheap. You did a Boba Fett. I haven't seen anything in the show yet that's inspired me to build a box per se, but I'm just in a Boba Fett kind of mood as opposed to a Mandalorian mood. But I did like The scene with actually the first 45 minutes, I was kind of like, what's everybody complaining about? And then there was the next hour and 15. I was like, oh. I mean, it was like running through quicksand. It was so slow. And that music that they were playing throughout most of that time was like elevator music would have been more upbeat. It was a rough. Good thing I saw it early this morning because I never would have made it an hour and a half into that thing at night. So again, what did you like about it? Because I have not yet talked to someone who liked it. I mean, I figured I'd eventually. I even told myself, well, would 12-year-old me have liked it? And I think to myself, probably if I hadn't seen A New Hope. Now, if this would have come out a year after New Hope, no, I probably wouldn't have liked it. Did you ever see the movie The Dark Crystal, Jim Henson? I was getting all kinds of Jim Henson vibes from this thing, and not in a good way. All right, let's come up with our lineup here for this wave. Let me see. Decisions. I think we're going to go this route. You liked every minute of it. You didn't think it was slow, like the last 45 minutes? From the point in time, and I don't want to spoil anything. I'm trying to choose my words carefully because I know you'll know what I'm talking about. From the point in time he's incapacitated, which is last pretty close to 45 minutes. And there's all that stuff going on while he's incapacitated, which is leaving me as a member of the audience incapacitated. You didn't find that just a slog through the mud? Oh, we have to chat with the boys on Thursday and bring the subject up because I got to see what everyone's thoughts are. I'm just glad I didn't pay any money for this, man. That's insane. All right, configure that. That's good. Properties. Generate at a random. And no countdown time. It's funny, even if you have the countdown not enabled, if this was on 4, it's still going to... Oh, it's a generation delay, I guess. Yeah, okay, whatever. Seems like a toggle switch should take care of that. JKG also enjoyed it. Wow. Hey, there's an audience for everything. I gotta admit, I'm a little surprised. But, hey, if you liked it, you liked it. Spin those around again to make them face the right direction. Yeah, I might not agree with you on that. I don't know if I can agree with you on that. Look, the not being the OG Star Wars, that's just not going to ever happen. It's gone. Those are the good old days, as they say. That said, Rogue One wasn't the OG Star Wars either, and I would argue that Rogue One might be the best film in the franchise. It's definitely probably my favorite in the entire franchise, and I'm going up against the original trilogy. I thought it was a great combination of that Star Wars feel and the fact that it ties into New Hope at the end. But it was, you look at New Hope, and spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't seen the 1977 movie, the good guy always wins ending, which you kind of got that in almost every movie. This just says this is real life and this is what happens. So I really like Rogue One, and I got a 3D version of it, which, just talking about it, I think I'll watch it either tonight or tomorrow now. That's why I'm so bummed out that Infinity shut down like days before they were going to release the Rogue One stuff. Maybe a month before, if that. I mean, they were... Excuse me. Woo. Excuse me a minute. Had popcorn with a movie, and a little piece of it apparently wants to play Havoc. Hold on one second. All right, I think we got it. I don't mind it not being the big war story. I mean, my favorite parts of Rogue One weren't necessarily the battle scenes, which you're going to get that in any Star Wars movie. I was watching, the heck is her name? Oh, it's not going to come to me now. But there's this YouTube girl who's got a pretty strong following. Well, she's a cute young YouTube girl, so they all have big followings. But anyway, she's well known for her cosplay stuff. She makes amazing costumes. I mean, the detail, and it's all her making it from scratch. Anyway, obviously she's a nerd, and she went to see the movie, and she gave it a 2 out of 10. And that was right before I went to see it. Well, I didn't go to see it, but before I saw it. And I was like, sounds like she might be a little bit. And first hour, 45 minutes or so, I'm like, no, man, this is at least a 5 out of 10. And then that last hour, it's like, we're down to 2. It's just too dang slow. It's not, if you were telling a story that whole time, that would be different. But my goodness, the trudging through the smug, it was just unbearable. For me, I found it to be incredibly taxing to sit through. But again, there's Oh, what happened there? There's something for everyone. And obviously, if you guys liked it, then they got that audience. And I don't want to say I went in expecting not to like it, but a little bit I kind of did. Because I wasn't a big fan of The Mandalorian itself. And the reason I was watching the Book of Boba Fett is I decided I was going to watch a little of Mandalorian Season 3, which I've never seen. I saw the first two, and then I kind of threw in the towel. And I see at the beginning of Season 3, Mandalorian and Grogu are together. And I'm like, wait a minute. Last time I saw you guys, Luke Skywalker took him. So I'm Googling, how do you explain the fact that they're back together? Oh, you have to watch Book of Boba Fett. And I'm like, oh, good Lord. So then I jumped over to Book of Boba Fett instead. And again, first 3 episodes, I think, is what I got in the can so far. Not phenomenal, but not terrible. You know, maybe 6 out of 10. Still a little bit sluggish. And I don't mean sluggish and there's no action. I don't need the action part of the movie for it to work for me. But I do need character development and storytelling. And they spend a lot of time just being and not doing anything. So that's my take on it. But I love Rogue One. Really love Rogue One. I actually liked, and I was shocked about this, Solo, a Star Wars story. Except for what they did with the character of Lando. That pissed me off a lot. But short of that, I thought the rest of it was really solid. And I thought that was a movie that would do well to get a sequel. I wanted to see what happened between Han and his girlfriend at the time. And, you know, obviously there's something must have happened. She ain't around anymore towards the end. You watched the Mandalorian series 3 times. God bless you, sir. I don't think I could do that. No, I can't do that. The only series that I've ever watched more than once has been The Walking Dead and Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad. Those are the only 2 I've ever watched an entire series more than one time on. Okay, so that is there. Do we have one to start this yet? Or I know we don't need a button to start it off, but for some reason I feel like when I use buttons, I don't have as much trouble. So I'm going to go this route. When the invite is accepted, no, take that back. When the game starts, we're going to press the button. And then when the button is pressed, we're going to launch the first wave. Generate. Did I set up a wave for the last one? I bet I didn't. That would have been fun. And you wonder why your logic doesn't work. What we got down here? And none of that crap. Let's see. We want to give them some good challenges. I think I'm going to go 10 on this one, and 5 on these. Okay. I do like to try and align my logic up as if you're reading a book. So basically it starts here, then it moves to here, then it moves to there, and then to there, and then to there, and to there, back and forth, back and forth. This way, if I come back to it a year from now for some reason, it won't be too hard to figure out, what was I thinking a year and a half ago? Pop H is going to watch it tomorrow. Okay. Well, you know what? I liked season 1 of The Mandalorian. I liked it quite a bit, actually. I didn't even mind season 2 that much. I actually kind of liked season 2. It wasn't until season 3 kicked in, as I'm already starting to see. Getting rid of Cara Dune was a massive mistake. They really made a mistake on that. And there was no reason for it. She did not say anything worthy of being canceled over. But this is, Disney to their own detriment. This is why they are failing so poorly right now. That's why their movies are making no money at the box office. They're taking massive hits. I don't think this thing's going to generate money. It might have a good first weekend. Not great. I think it'll have a good first weekend. And then I think it's going to absolutely tank after that. Let's go this route. So after the wave is defeated, press the button. And I just like having the voices kick in here because I feel like it adds a little something to the game. Brings it to life a little bit more. One press there. Nope, I didn't want that. Get them to say different things when pressed. Fantastic. And then new logic connection. When this one is pressed, this is when the boss battle starts. And for that, the enemy's closing in. And then we got our new logic connection here. And the game is completed. We're going to celebrate. We'll say all, even though there's really only one player set for this thing. So again, this is kind of based on the movie, the Mandalorian movie that we're discussing. And again, I'm trying not to give out too much to anyone who's watching this that hasn't seen the movie yet, that plans to see the movie yet. But that little battle arena part there, where it was kind of like two of them against the world. And then from here, there'll be a second toy box that'll tie into, which is the escape, where that character that I'm not naming right now that's been in the Star Wars universe, but to my knowledge has never been in the live action portion of it. And I'm thinking that'll be a separate toy box for that character to play and to be showing up with the getaway car, so to speak. So they'll kind of tie in together. Yeah, look, anything when you're talking about films, that's art. Anytime you're talking about art, you can have two people. You could have two people looking at the Mona Lisa, and one person will tell you it's worth $10 million. Another person will look at it and say, I wouldn't give you $20 for it. And I'm in that category. I can respect the fact that it's historic, but let's pretend it wasn't, and it was just a painting from several hundred years ago. And someone said, hey, this is like a 220-year-old painting. And I'm like, that's nice. And it's selling for, $10,000. Not a chance in hell. If I had millions of dollars, no. I just don't look at that painting and say, oh my God, what a beautiful work of art. That's just not, it's nice. It just doesn't do anything for me personally. And that's what's going to happen when you do anything art related. You're always going to get the people that agree, the people that don't agree, and it's all good. I think the problem is when it comes to Star Wars, they've just struggled for a long time to put out anything that the Star Wars universe generally likes. And makes it worse is the fact that they act like they don't care if you like it or not. You know, Kathleen Kennedy has been an absolute cancer to the franchise. She has done so much irreversible damage. And now they're talking about making another movie where they're going to basically write out the prequel and sequel trilogies. They never happened. What the hell? Really? Give me a heads up when you're getting ready to. And let me get a little further done with this one. In 30 minutes, yeah, that should be about right. Are we talking about the PlayStation thing again, or are we looking at Discord? What am I looking for here? Sports? Is there something? No. That's what I'm looking for. Seems like I've been using these things a lot lately. See, I think that's not going to work. Oh, it does work. It's tight, but it works. I can always move them in a little bit more. I'm going to have to with that one. Drop this one down here. Yeah, this one's all right. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, that'll work. But just to be on the safe side, so we don't have... That one's good there. That one's good there. Yeah, Discord might be better. No, actually, it doesn't matter because I have the phone. Yeah, we can do PlayStation. Yeah, that works fine. Just give me a quick heads up when you're ready. All right, that's there. Everybody lined up properly? Nope. So we got our breathing room there. That's lined up, okay. And then come over here. One of the things I really enjoyed, actually, we're going to definitely want to put these exits because this is going to be part of the escape. Then everything else will be locked off. I haven't figured out which sky dome I want to go with for this yet, but and I think we're going to end up adding another terrain piece as well. I was going back into my Rise Against the Empire playset to see what is holding me back from unlocking the AT-AT cannons in my main account. And I remember it was one I didn't there's a couple of them actually. So I did go and complete a couple of other ones. So I'm a lot closer now, but the one that I haven't, and I don't think I'm going to, I feel like it's, for me, it's just not going to happen. And that is the, I should have said it, is the run in the, I guess it's a Death Star, if I'm not mistaken, where you got the Millennium Falcon and you have to try and take as close to no damage as possible as you're racing through the thing and turning frontwards and sidewards and every other words. And I tried it, and it's like, yeah, that's not going to happen. All right, man, give me a shout, and I'll see you in a little bit. So, eventually, I'm going to get around to going through these toy boxes. I'm currently running through on the bundle, Celestial bundle, I think is what it's named. And then I'll switch over to one of the other bundles that should have the AT-AT guns unlocked. Celestial does not currently. All right, that's good, that's good. Realistically, I mean, I think we're done with the battle part anyway. Like I said, there's going to be an escape that takes place here as well. Oh, so that means I got to lock the gates, right? New logic connection. When that's accepted. Close. New logic connection. When closed. Close. So that'll keep them both closed. New logic connection. When the game is completed. Open. New logic connection. When it's opened. Open. Okay. And then last but not least, come on over here again. New logic connection. As soon as it's accepted. Let's start in the corner. Loud cheering. New logic connection. While it's loud cheering there, we're going to loud cheer here. New logic connection again. Maybe. Loud cheering here. Go to loud cheering there. We want a loud and rowdy crowd. When it's loud cheering. New logic connection. Now I'm debating on whether I want to have half the crowd cheering and half the crowd booing. New logic connection there. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. This will give it a much fuller sound effect, I think. Ah. Now we are going to go back and change those two in a minute. I just want to finish this cycle up. this time it's going to go to cheering. That didn't work, I don't think. When booing. And then this is going to be loud cheering. Okay. And then we're going to bounce over here real quick. Once you've completed it and the gate is open. When it's opened. Oh, really? I guess that's not going to work. Nah, you know what? We'll just leave it as is. They don't need to change whether they're cheering or not. Okay. So that gives us that. And we still haven't used this yet. I'm going to throw it on the other side of the wall just in case I can probably use it to trigger part of the getaway. There we go. Oh, I do need a locator for you, don't I? Actually, let's go back to that one. Have them facing the right direction. And center it a little bit better. Now here's something with my race that did not work the way it normally does. So, locator connection. All players, player 1 or blue team starting location. Oh, maybe I didn't. Okay, hold on. Maybe I have to set it. I think I may have figured out what I did wrong. Yeah, and location. All right. I don't think I did that. And that might be why I was having that trouble. Again, it's been a while. All right. I feel confident that this is going to be fine. Which means I'm probably wrong. Got that there. Where's the middle? That is the middle. Okay. And while we're at it, let's turn that invisible. Oh, yeah. There we go. Invisible. Drop this down here. Again, I like it to lay out in a way that you can kind of follow the connections in an orderly pattern. So when it comes down to the troubleshooting, that may or may not occur. I can't imagine this one's going to provide that kind of trouble. But man, if I had a nickel. If I had a nickel for every time I was wrong about that. Somebody's currently being recorded. I am not expecting any packages today, am I? Today's a weekend too, man. Don't be knocking on my door on no weekend. Actually, there might have been something coming today now that I think about it. What the heck was it? Oh, I know what it was. I'll go grab that in a few minutes. I got a taco shell holder for the air fryer so that I can toast them. I like getting the soft tortilla shells, but then I like them when they got the crispy thing going on. And you can make them in a frying pan, but I feel like you got to flip it around. You got to do all this extra stuff with it. If you have it in a little holder, Just drop it in the air fryer and boom, it's done in one shot and pretty quick too. It doesn't take very long. All right, all of our logic is down there. Got these two guys over here. I think I'll put one on either side just to keep the floor balanced. My OCD kicks in. And then we've got this dude here. And which sky dome to go with? I really wish I'd... feel like I should go into my book of tricks. Don't want that one. Sanctuary Moon, no. Echo Base, no. No. Syndrome's headquarters. Let's give it a shot, but I don't think so. Then we'd have to change the music out too, because that music ain't gonna work. I'm not sure if that's terrible. Well, let's see what else we can do. I was thinking Kiln. I think Kiln's gonna probably be the best one. Which I think is 3.0. Pure White, Syndrome Sinister. What's the Sinister one? I thought this was. Oh, that's not bad either, actually, but I still think this will be good for the escape portion. I gotta remember this one. Alright, back to here. Sinister, Looking Glass, Ocean, Moonlit. Oh, I guess it's not in 3.0. In that case, let's go to 2.0. Has to be 2.0. Blue, Galactic Prison, there you are. Yeah. That makes a lot more sense. Fits the theme. We'll sit this one right back here. As I said, though, we do need a button to get it all started with. How do we want that to happen? I know how I want it to happen. And again, there's something about it that sometimes they just don't play nice. But we're going to take a chance on this. It's my favorite button out of all the buttons. Come back this way. That is our case. We come over here. New logic connection. When the invite is accepted, deactivate. Now, somehow or another, that doesn't always work the way it's supposed to. New logic connection again. When the game is completed, activate. And there's no defeat in this one. You just keep on playing until you win. So, I'm not going to, again, I'm trying to keep this pretty basic and simple. New logic connection. When the game is completed, reset. This way, if you want to play more than one time in a row, you can. Or at least you should be able to. Okay. Now let's grab the button. Bring him up here. And let's go right about there in the middle. And with that in mind, let's separate these guys a little bit more. We'll put that there. And then we'll put that there. And then momentarily, I'm just going to grab this thing and see, if I'm not mistaken, we can do the little glitchy thing. Which, if you're not familiar, there are objects that normally will collide and not play well together. Like the button on the wall, for example, right there. You can get it right next to the wall, but I like to actually sink it in a little bit. And you can if you have the trigger area around it. So now it's just kind of protruding from the wall. And then you just take the box and put it back over here. Doesn't work on everything. Works on wood blocks really well. Terrain pieces, not so much. And there you go. Now it's kind of embedded in there. I like that. Hopefully it closes, because if it doesn't, I guess it won't make a big difference. It's not going to be able to restart a match that's already in progress. I don't think. Who do I got up here? I got him, but we're going to swap him out. Make it a little bit more. I guess I should have got BOBA FETT realistically, but all right. So for right now, let's go ahead and save this. Save. Slowly it loads. This is the thing about Disney Infinity that I love, because this is something where you can keep it as simple as this and still make a toy box that's a lot of fun to play in. Kids will have a great time with it. Something parents can do with the kids together. All right, and on this one, what we gonna call this? Mando Grounds instead of Battleground. Well, then it looks like Mandog Rounds. Never mind. Or there we go. I was asking ChatGPT. ChatGPT, when I make my thumbnails, will not do anything with Disney Infinity. It just will not do it. That is copyright protected. We cannot do it. Blah, 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 blah. And I always have to go to Venice to get that done. Meantime, it'll do stuff for my other channel where we do pro wrestling talk and stuff like that. And no problem putting copyrighted guys and girls' faces up there and all that kind of stuff. That they'll do. But, man, they won't touch Disney. So I asked it to give me just a banner of a word. And I'm not saying the word because it's coming up in a couple of days. And I don't want to spoil it. But it's a word. It's a name of a character in the Marvel world. And it says, that is copyrighted. And I'm fighting with the AI bot. And I was like, nobody owns a word. And it's like, well, you're right. Nobody does own a word. But if you're using it for this or for that or for that, as I'm not. I just asked you to make the word in a banner form. I didn't say to put it in a picture or anything. Oh, okay, well, here it is. I'm like, you so-and-so. I'll do description later. Primary combat. I wish I would have put the primary genre in all of mine, but I always skip that. I never put it in. Anybody want to bet $1 that the button doesn't stay disabled? And I'm already thinking, did I logic it up to open again? When? Yeah, I think I did. Pretty sure I did. I'll double check right now as soon as this is done doing its little Windows thing. So if any of you out there watching this have seen The Mandalorian and Grogu, drop your review down below. Let me know if you liked it or not. If you did, what you liked about it. If you didn't, what you didn't like about it. Because I am very curious to see how the Star Wars community en masse receives this film. I'm already surprised that 2 people I know liked it. I'm already surprised. But again, it's depending what you want, I guess, to get out of it. I just wanted something that, man, it just felt so slow to me. And that I know I'm not alone in, because I've heard other people say the same thing. Let me just see before I get going here if I did indeed remember. Button casing, there's 2 there, right? Game completed. Okay, yeah, so we're good. We are good. All right, let's give it a whack. Not off to a great start. New logic connection when pressed. Start game. I guess that would have helped. As simple as it is, right? You still end up missing something, dummy. But this time it should be good. I only put the button there so that it would start the match, but that was the one thing I forgot to put on the button. Appreciate the follow over on Twitter, or Twitch rather. We are streaming on Twitch as well as YouTube. What I love about Twitch is it's only like a 1-second delay. It is really, really close behind. With YouTube, there's like a, oh goodness, sometimes 15-second delay. Anywhere from like 7 to 12 seconds. I'm going to go grab my Mando. Leave that there.
We make an acceptable team.
There we go. All right. There we go. And now let's see how the rest of this thing plays out. We got the crowd. I'm wondering if I have to put them on a repeater. I guess we'll find that out in a minute.
Targets locked.
Yep, we do have to put them on a repeater. Oh, I thought I had enough. Sorry. I've never been so wrong in my whole life.
Why do they try to resist?
Ooh, got tagged on that one. Taking some incoming.
Armor holding.
What a performance!
What a performance, he says. Well, here comes the next performance. I love those rolling dudes, man. They are a handful.
Efficient.
And the button did not stay closed. Gosh dang it. What is the deal with that stupid button? It never seems to work anymore.
Your attacks are feeble. Registering your defeat.
Get some help.
Bounty Hunters Guild.
Can't get any purple sparks for the life of me, man. I don't know they're going to be that stingy. I had to save some. Here's some. We got one. Got to save those finishers, though.
Awesome!
Again, I really like the words coming out like that. And then in the meantime, we just hit the button again. Hopefully that doesn't mess anything up. It shouldn't. I'm going to hang on to those finishers for a special occasion. Maybe you gotta set a repeater to go off every second and just make sure it stays off until the game's over. But it shouldn't have to work that way, and it didn't used to have to work that way. I'm gonna take a chance. No, that didn't get me anything. Might have softened a couple of them up is all.
Close range tactics. My armor can take it.
Oh, we got something here. We got any purples? No. Hey, what are you guys doing back here all by yourselves? Welcome to the party, big boys. Let's get out of here. Well, that works anyway. Okay. Just figured I'd test. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
You are worth more to me alive.
Man, I cannot get a purple spark out of this thing. Finally. Are we up to 2 now, are we? I think I'm going to hang on to these. Can I get a third one? Probably not, right? No, this one doesn't give you 3s. In that case, I better burn one. Ooh, you did not.
What a waste of my time. There wasn't even a price on your head.
Get my health back up at least.
Too easy.
Fantastic.
Uh-oh. I love the way they're coming out of the little door area there. That's pretty bad. Oh, hello. Only got one. Oh, my goodness. That's a lot of badness coming this way. Get that health. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Weakling.
Up, up, up. Those little ankle biters are a real pain in the butt. Dropping the elbow. Oh, I got caught. That help. Ooh, still going, still going. Beat out the freeze effect.
Nothing more than credits to me. Time to collect. You cannot have me.
I don't know about that can't hurt me thing. get caught. I got caught a little bit, but there's plenty of health to be had. Get out of here, you little shit. There's one for you. And there's one for you. Oh. There's one for both of you. Back at you. Health.
Why do they try to resist? Boba Fett never
What
fails.
are you guys doing way back here watching?
They are closing in on Odin's treasures.
Not Odin's treasures. Nothing? Oh. Oh, I was actually protected by that. But that uses up all of my... Oh, he got me. Son of a gun, I thought I was going to outjump that.
Analyzing opponent.
Better analyze your opponent from a distance. Yeah, well, feel this too, why don't you? Ooh, he got me. Easy. Yeah.
A clever maneuver, but not clever enough. You will perish like all the rest.
Damn, what? I'm forgetting how to fly. Oh, there it goes. Ooh, he still got me.
Is that the best you can do?
You have some skill.
Ooh, ooh. Yeah.
Very good. I actually thought that.
Nope. Oopsie.
I do so enjoy a challenge. You have skill, but mine is the greater.
Ooh, got me again. Son of a gun.
Is that the best you can do?
Challenge.
Merely a scratch. You will perish like all the rest. Very good. I actually thought that.
Yeah. Getting pretty close here on the health between the two of us. Ha 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 ha. I got you. And I forgot to set the trigger up that it ends the match. Okay. So a couple of things. Number one, why this does not stay closed. Once the match is started, it's supposed to be off. Not more sure. Challenge maker. When pressed, it'll start the challenge. Okay. Challenge maker. When it's accepted, you only got two: activate and deactivate. But yet it does not deactivate. Interesting. Let me try something here. Again, not the first time I've had this problem, which is unfortunate because I've got toy boxes where it worked fine. And it's a great button, especially when you put that casing over it. Also looks really cool. I need this. For now, we'll just use this as an example. I just want to test it. New logic connection when stepped on by player any. Deactivate. New logic connection when stepped off by player any. Activate. Now let's see if it stays. See, now it stays shut. And so why is it not working? That is weird. Now it's also a constant where you have to be on the whole time for it to work. So let's try a different one. Yeah. New logic connection pressed. Deactivate. Okay, now let's see if it stays that way. Oh, wait a minute. Although it's working with this. I wonder if there's a logic in here. Properties. Cooldown time. I mean, you can always... You can always at least ramp it up to 15, but that's not going to do nothing. No, so that's the only other... I thought there might have been an off setting or something to that effect. But it seems like it's working now. So this is what I'm talking about. You need these buttons a lot of times when you shouldn't. The game maker should be enough, and it's not. All right, here's what we're going to do. Going to back out. And we're just going to load back in again. End the challenge. We got to fix that part too. Unsafe progress will be lost. Yes. And we're going to load. Toy box saves. Like I told you, no matter how basic the logic is, it will still find a way to mess with you. It's one of those boxes that, well, granted, I just played it for like 20 minutes, but I thought it would be done in about, 35 to 45 minutes. And we're heading towards a 2-hour mark here by the time we're done with this. And as I said, we still have to work on the exit plan. I should have checked to make sure the gate's unlocked, which they probably didn't. So I think what I'm going to do is a few things here.
I'm Boba Fett.
Would you like to go
Now,
to place it? Or
We have
continue
work to do. There is nowhere to hide
continue
from
toy
me.
box? Wouldn't I have just gone there if that's what I wanted to do? Oh, we also need the crowd. Where did I start? The corner. Thank God for small favors. All right. We need a repeater for the crowd to keep going. All right. This button triggers a lot of things, so we will use this button also. And we're still going to need another one, though. New logic connection. When the game is completed, we're going to press that. Okay, when the game is completed, we're going to do two things. Number one thing we're going to do. Oh. Come on, man. Work with me. New logic connection. When that is pressed, this is after completing the game. Whoopsie. We are going to activate. And also, one more thing here. New logic connection. When the button is pressed, again, we've completed the game. Come on up here. And we are going to reset because I don't trust the challenge maker. And then also, now the gates were locked. Okay, I did test those and they were locked. I don't know if they unlocked, and I don't trust that part. So, new logic connection. When it's pressed, we are going to, by opening this, it should automatically open that. Okay, so that takes care of the end of match. Now let's take care of the startup. This is already in place. We're just going to add new logic connection. When it's pressed, we're going to deactivate. And this time it should stay shut. But you should not need the button to control the button. And I feel like it wasn't always that way. I think it might have happened later in the cycle. Like maybe a patch update had something to do with that. I don't know. But it's redundant, to say the least. We had that working fine. We didn't get this to happen because why? Because we forgot to say new logic connection when defeated Grievous. Complete the game. Okay. That'll take care of that. Now the only other new thing we're going to add is a repeater. And the good thing is when you hit the crowd up, they're generally going to go for about 5 seconds anyway, so where's my repeater? What's that? Timer, counter, dynamic, logic gate, dual action, time delay, repeater. There you are. Okay, so the same thing. We're going to use the buttons. So new logic connection. When the button is pressed to start the match, we are going to turn the repeater on. Oh, and there's my invite. I'm just going to leave it on. Let them keep cheering or booing and whatever they're doing. Okay, and now what I need from this is set our properties up. And instead of every 5 seconds, we'll make it every 3. Oh, will it do 1 second? If it will, then that works. All right. So every second it's going to repeat. And then there's a new line. Nope. Good. All right. And then new logic connection. When it repeats. Loud cheering. And that should trigger everybody else because they're all synced. All right. That should do it. All right, let me grab my phone here real quick. I'm going to turn off the mic. I'm going to probably test this out. I won't be on. I'm not going to have the call over the stream, but yeah, if you guys want to check out what it looks like now.
treasures!
Tear you apart! You will perish like all the rest. Is that the best you can do? Clever maneuver, but not clever enough. Is that the best you can do? You will perish like all the rest. What is the meaning of this? Skill, but mine is the greater. Clever maneuver, but not clever enough. You will perish like all the rest. Is that the best you can do?
Weakling.
Very good. I actually thought that. I do so enjoy a challenge. Is that the best you can do? Skill, but mine is the greater.
Fool.
Is that the best you can do? You have skill, but mine is the greater. A clever maneuver, but not clever enough. Very good. I actually thought that. I do so enjoy a challenge. I do so enjoy a challenge. You will perish like all the rest. Clever maneuver, but not clever enough. You have skill, but mine is the greater.
There was never any doubt. You were warned. You hired me. Name the target. There is nowhere to hide from me.
missed me, didn't you?
What a performance! Awesome! Fantastic. king's treasures.
our stream is done at this time. We've got everything going, and there'll be a part 2 to this toy box later on, so check back for that. All right. In the meantime, everybody, have a great rest of your day, and remember, Disney Infinity is the only game where the only limitation is your imagination.